Hi, my name is Adam Muqtadiri, real estate broker with Home Life BBU, investor and advisor in GTA Real Estate. In this video, I want to talk about mortgages in terms of fixed and variable and where we're at today and where we think they're going to go. As you know, as rates have gone up, this hot topic of whether I should go fixed or variable has come back again. Before the previous year, there was such a huge gap between variable and fixed that most people opted for variable. But as we speak, when you look at the chart I prepared, at the top 5 banks, variable rates and fixed rates are pretty similar, with variable rates being slightly higher, around 5.7% on average, and fixed rates being around 5.5% on average. So they're pretty similar. But it's still a huge decision whether you're gonna go fixed or variable if you're going to lock in the mortgage today. So how do you make that decision? I want to talk to you about what determines the fixed rate and what determines the variable rate, so you can kind of understand the different factors influencing it before you make a decision. When we're talking about fixed rate mortgages, those follow the Canadian 5-year bond yield. And as you can see in my chart, when that goes up, the fixed rates goes up. But once you fix today, it doesn't mean that your fixed rate is going to change. By definition, it means that your mortgage is going to stay fixed for 5 years. But what determines what the fixed rate is today is the Canadian 5-year bond yield. And most analysts think that the 5-year bond yield is topping out and it's peaking, meaning that we're probably experiencing the highest levels of fixed rates that we're going to experience, and it's going to start coming down probably by the latter end of 2023. So if you fix today, you're stuck with that 5-year fix, but as I can explain, there's a way to get that lower fixed rate down the road if you go variable. Let's talk about variable now. Variable rates follow the Bank of Canada's interest rate policy rates, meaning that if the Bank of Canada raises rates, your variable rate mortgage goes up, and once they reduce rates, your variable rate mortgage goes down. But what influences the Bank of Canada to raise or cut rates? Most people believe the Bank of Canada's policy follows the 2-year bond yield, the 2-year Canadian bond yield. And if the bond yield is a lot higher than the policy rate, the Bank of Canada raises rates, and if the bond yield is lower, Bank of Canada will lower rates. And as you can see in the chart that I prepared, in the little circle, which was end of last year, early this year, Bank of Canada was really behind in terms of its policy rate compared to the 2-year bond yield. And that's why they started aggressively raising rates in the last few months. But as we speak today, the 2-year bond yield and Canada's overnight interest rate policy rate is quite similar to the 2-year bond yield, meaning that we're probably also experiencing the end of the rate hike cycle for Bank of Canada. Most analysts believe that Bank of Canada will raise rates another 25 to 50 basis points by the end of the year, and they'll probably keep it there until they force a recession. And once we get into a recession, they'll start cutting rates, which most people anticipate will be in the latter part of 2023. So what does this all mean to you if you were locking in a mortgage? Should you go variable or fixed? I mean, there's no right or wrong answer, but what I would do probably is I would go with the variable rates now, fully knowing that it's going to go up in the next few months, and fully understanding that I'm going to pay more interest in the short term, but I'm not locking myself for 5 years to a fixed rate. And if it's anticipated that fixed rates will come down by the end of next year, I'll pay a little bit more now and then lock it in once rates come down. And that way I protect myself. If rates come down, I can take advantage of it. That's my 2 cents. Again, there's no right or wrong answer. It's really the level of risk you want to take. Probably going with the variable rates, you're gonna be, obviously higher risk because you're uncertain about your future interest rate. And if you fix now, for the next 5 years, this is the rate you're gonna be paying. But that's all I want to leave you in this video. I hope it was helpful. And as always, if you have any questions, you better call Adam. Thank you.